What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? This is your boy Is Nefarious here, and I'm here for another edition of your favorite series. Here we go, following the Pittsburgh Steelers of the Premier Madden League, and we are in Week 7. We are 3-3. We get an outer division matchup. We just beat our divisional rival Ravens. Now let's see who we have to play this week, and let's see if we could keep this thing rolling. All right, so here we are. First things first. We got weekly awards to go through, and Najee Harris is number one. 25 carries, 316 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. 12.6 yards a carry, 4 rush touchdowns, 1 reception for 5 yards. He averaged 5 yards per reception, but nobody really cares about that. He had that 1 reception. But we ended up as a Player of the Week. And below, I see a little storyline we'll get to in a second. GM has a free agent fit. Where can we use that? Honestly, no. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Maybe offense. Let's see. Add a potential player on offense. Let's see what they say. So we got James Conner, Andy Yanovich. Yanovich actually is with the Seattle Seahawks. James Conner is a good thought, but I like the young kid that we just had, Sewell. Last game he was solid for us. Let's see what the defensive options are. Ricardo Allen or Justin Houston. Justin Houston might not be the worst. And Ricardo Allen, Justin Houston's with the Bears though, it shows. So it would be Ricardo Allen. Don't sign Allen. We'll take a look at it ourselves. But it's a cool little thing they add in, but we're not really doing that, so we don't care. View message, breakout player. Like last time, I want people to guess. So we'll take a second, get your guesses in. Who is that breakout player that we have this week? My guess is going to be Najee Harris, going from superstar to superstar X Factor. I mean, that should be a good guess. Over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. What else could you do? But let's take a look. Let's see who the breakout player is this week. Najee Harris. So Najee Harris is got a dev game going from superstar to superstar X Factor. We need 200 yards receiving and rushing. So even if we don't get it rushing, we can get it receiving. So that's going to affect our depth chart because he's going to be in every formation, and we're probably going to overuse him to the max. But we need 4 TDs or 200 yards combined of rushing and receiving. So Najee Harris is going to be a focal point of this game, as he should be a focal point of every game, but definitely this game going to be a focal point. So it's nice to have a superstar X Factor running back. So it'll be great to have him get there. But first, let's take a look at the Dolphins and let's see what we're dealing with this week. All right, so here we are with the Dolphins. And the first thing you notice is Russell Wilson is on the Miami Dolphins. So just to give you an insight on this trade, it was Russell Wilson and I think it was just Russell Wilson for Tua. It was Tua and it was his corner. What's his name? Why is it escaping me right now? I think it was Xavier Howard. So it was Xavier Howard and Tua for Russell Wilson. So that was a trade. So we gave up a shutdown corner and a young quarterback, not really a star quarterback, for Russell Wilson. Definitely improved his team a little bit with Russell Wilson. You got to deal with Russell Wilson now that has good throw power, good accuracy, could get outside the pocket. I believe he has escape artist and all that. So a nice little trade from the Dolphins. We have Salvon Ahmed. He's a superstar. He's been playing really well for him. He likes to use him a lot out of the backfield, so we definitely got to watch out for that. Eric Ebron seems to be his fullback, which is odd. But he's got Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, and Devontae Parker. Jalen Waddle and Will Fuller, just absolute burners. Definitely, you could see our defense having 2 high safeties and playing cover 2 shells. Most of the game, we're usually a cover 3 shell team, but with this much speed on the field and not having the speed at cornerback and defensive back, we might have to run a cover 2 shell for most of the game. But he's got a solid wide receiver room. He's got solid tight ends. He's got Mike Gesicki, who's solid. Then he's got Eric Ebron. Don't really have to worry about Hunter Long, but he's got 2 tight ends that he could throw to. The offensive line is pretty solid as well. Nothing crazy. Mitchell Schwartz is really good, so that's the one really good offensive lineman. Everybody else is, a borderline starter on the offensive line. Taking a look at his defense, left end, he's running Jaleen Phillips. Then he's got Christian Wilkins at that right end. I don't know if he runs a 3-4 or a 4-3. Maybe he runs a mix of both. We'll see in the game. Christian Harris is like a 3-4 middle linebacker or a 4-3 outside linebacker. So he has him on an outside linebacker. So I assume that he's running a 4-3. He's got Jerome Baker in the middle as well, and he doesn't really have another middle linebacker that he can plug into the lineup. So I assume that it's a 4-3. That's probably what we're going to see. He's got Andrew Van Ginkel. I know he actually gets to the quarterback. He's got pretty good pass rush moves. So I mean, it could be a mix of both. Who knows? And maybe just subs throughout. He's got Byron Jones still, so it's not like he doesn't have a number one corner. He got rid of one, but he still has another. If anything, we're gonna test Noah here, his second corner, especially if he's up on Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool's 6'4", he's 5'10". I think we got that advantage right there. Then he's got Steven Nelson. But you know, his corners are pretty fast. You know, could keep up with our wide receivers. Then he's got Javon Holland, who's a pretty solid free safety, and he's got a rookie, Janye Thomas. He's a big boy, 6'3", hard-hitting safety. Definitely got to worry about going over the middle with him. And you know, when it comes to this team, it's a pretty solid team, pretty solid throughout. Nothing really stands out as far as, besides the offense. The offense stands out. It's a high-powered offense. On the defense, nothing really stands out. They got a number one corner. They got okay defensive backs besides him, and they got an okay front seven. So I think we're going to be fine offensively. Defensively, we really got to work on our game plan. But that'll lead us to the storylines that we have to talk about with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's head over there and take a look at what we're dealing with. All right, so here we are with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and JT Daniels, he's 2-0 as a starter. He has 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions in his 2 games as a starter, so that's not too good. Definitely want to see better decision making. Try not to have that interception this game. See if we could go perfect. Then Jared Goff, you know, still there. He's still putting pressure on JT Daniels to perform. If JT Daniels falls off, we got Jared Goff right behind him waiting to take the starting job back over. So it's not clear that JT Daniels is our starter. Right now he's 2-0. He hasn't really performed too bad. He's got a good arm. He's got a strong arm. Fits it into tight windows. So we like everything about JT Daniels. But, you know, it's not a very long leash. But he's our rookie. He's performing well. So he's going to be our starter for now. Running back Najee Harris, phenomenal right now. Hopefully that last game gives him more momentum. And this game he could get even more yardage. Definitely going to ride with him this game. He's going to be our third down back. He's going to be every back. As you know, we got the dev story with him, so that's going to be huge for us. See if we get that dev story, get even more XP, or have him upgrade even faster than he is already. So Najee Harris getting X Factor would be great. Jalen Samuel's going to remain our fullback for now. We might actually switch that up within the game. We'll see. Then we got Chase Claypool, who's at the number 1, he'll be on the left-hand side, and then Amari Cooper will be on the right-hand side. So Amari Cooper will actually match up against the second corner, and actually against the first corner, and Claypool will match up against the second corner. And as I said, I would like that matchup just because Claypool's a little taller. So let's see if we could get a jump ball or two. George Pickens is also going to be that third wide receiver to come in. Gary Jennings is close though. I want to get him involved a little bit, but George Pickens, being the rookie, kind of gets the love right now. Sam Laporte, better run blocker than Rob Gronkowski. Not a better pass blocker or a better blocker overall. Just sets up the running game a little more, so he's going to be our starter, and that's basically why we got him in there. He's also a little faster as a weapon for a tight end. So him being a little faster and being a little better in blocking kind of gives him the advantage. Gronkowski is just Gronkowski. He's great, pretty solid route runner, but could catch pretty much anything and has solid blocking. Our offensive line, we could actually fix this because we had Trey Turner here. Oh, we can't put AJ Cann, which we're trying to put Dotson. We had Trey Turner there. We're going to put Dotson back where he belongs. You got Kendrick Green. You got AJ Cann. The sickness, the virus is finally away. We don't have to deal with it anymore. We could have our full offensive line. We could have our full team. I don't think we have any injuries right now. I think everybody's back from injury. So we have a full team. We have a full lineup. It's the first time we've been healthy all season, which is great. We got Stephon Tuitt, who's going to remain the starter. The rest of the offensive line, nothing's changing there. You know, they set up good run blocks. They set up Najee Harris perfectly last game. Hopefully, it's a lot more of the same. Stephon Tuitt, has been great, and the run game has been great overall. So he's going to rock with that starting position, but he could also be on the move. That could be a storyline moving forward. His contract talks with us have been a pain, and it's hard to get where he wants to be as far as a contract. So that's a storyline to pay attention to. Will Stephon Tuitt be moved, or will he stay with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Cameron Hayward, obviously, like Big Ben, somebody that's always been a Steeler and is going to remain a Steeler until the wheels fall off, as I say every week. Jordan Davis has been playing really, really well recently. We want him to keep having strides in that direction. Hopefully, he could get some more pass rush as well. He's not really known for that. He's more just a plug, a plug in the middle of the defense trying to stop the run. But he's doing his job right now. T'Vondre Sweat also, I would like to get him in and see how he looks. But with the way Jordan Davis is playing right now, we're happy with the way it is. TJ Watt, having him back, we didn't really pass rush because of having Lamar Jackson on the other side. We wanted to contain more. It's going to be a lot of the same this week. It's going to be a lot more containing. He has two really fast wide receivers, so it's probably not going to be a lot of that cover 1, cover 3, because before we only had to watch Marquise Brown as far as speed. Everybody else, the speed matched up. Now he's got two weapons that could burn us over top, so I can't cover both. If I'm running a cover 3, I can't have Minkah Fitzpatrick cover both guys at the same time. So you're going to see a lot of cover two shells and probably a lot of 2 safeties high. But TJ Watt, maybe he'll get more at the quarterback this game, but he's got Russell Wilson, so we got to contain there. Devin Bush, Peyton Wilson have been locking down the middle really solid. Devin Bush, I think, had 2 interceptions or maybe 1 interception last game. I think it was 2. He had the fumble as well when he got hit, but he had interceptions. He's playing really well. Right outside linebacker, Samson Ubakam has been really good. You know, that athleticism on the other side, especially running contains, it's really helping. So having him is really good. I don't feel comfortable with Jeremiah Moon yet. He's a rookie. He's going to work to get more time, but I don't really feel comfortable with him. Frank Clark as well. He's more of a third down specialist. We don't really feel comfortable with him out there because we need this right outside linebacker to be able to also go back in coverage. So that's basically why we don't have him there. Taking a look at the corners, you got Bradley Roby and Ahmad Gardner on one side, on the outside, and then you got Justin Layne also coming in. Justin Layne is very close to taking the starting position from Bradley Roby. We bump Ahmad Gardner into that first slot, Justin Layne into that second, and Bradley Roby would just come on for nickel situations. So it's very close to happening because I like the way Justin Layne's playing as well. So we'll see how it develops. And plus Bradley Roby isn't really in our future right now. Taking a look, Minkah Fitzpatrick got universal coverage. Again, we'll have everybody activated this game, or should have everybody activated, so it'll be very interesting to see. But Minkah Fitzpatrick got the X factor. He's got universal coverage. It'll be interesting to see how much that affects his game. And then we got Terrell Edmonds has been performing a lot better than he was before. Would like to see him get a depth story. Would like to see him get more involved and also, improve on his coverage skills, stuff like that. Right now he's playing really well. He's still young. He's still developing. I feel like he's one of those safeties that could come into the box, make plays in the box, and also play deep. So it's really nice having a weapon like that. But that's pretty much it for storylines. The main storyline is we're trying to get Najee Harris the ball. We're trying to get him an X factor this game. That's going to be the main storyline. Now let's go over to training and let's see what we're doing in training. And let's hope that everybody comes out healthy. All right, so here we are with the training. We're doing our normal training. Just taking a look at some of the ranks. Total defense 23rd. Total offensive rank first right now, which is a surprise. Defensive scoring, we're 27th. Offensive scoring, we're 7th. Defensive total yards per game, we're 23rd. Offensive total yards per game, we're 3rd. Defensive pass yards per game, we're 28th. Offensive pass yards per game, we're 6th. 13th in defensive rush yards per game. So our rush defense is slowly coming into the top 10. Offensive rush yards per game, we're 1st. Defensive turnovers, we're 6th. And then offensive turnovers, we're 23rd. So we're not doing very well on the turnover stuff. We're focused training JT Daniels, Najee Harris, Jordan Davis, and Ahmad Gardner. Those guys are going to get some extra work, and hopefully that makes them a little bit better. A lot of those are our young core of guys that we really want to build on. So let's get this training game going, and let's hope that everybody comes out healthy. That is the main goal, healthy, especially Najee Harris since he has that depth story. Here's the offense. Najee Harris is all set. No injury there, which is great. And it looks like everybody else is good too, so that's good. The defense, let's make sure everybody's healthy. Just taking a look. Everybody's healthy, perfect. So no injuries this week in practice. So far, so good. We've been good. Knock on wood with the injuries in training. Nobody's been injured, which has been great. Now we got to take on the Miami Dolphins and their high-powered offense. Hopefully our defense can hold up. But let's jump into the game and let's see how we do. All right, so here we are with the post game. We actually lost this game 27-24. Tough loss to the Miami Dolphins. Came down to the last second field goal. Total offense 365 yards for the Dolphins. We had it in rushing yards 132. 293 passing yards from the Dolphins as well. So they had that. They had 21 first downs. They did what they had to do. They led in total yards. We won the turnover battle, so that was good. But we still had a turnover. They were 4 for 7 on third downs. We were 3 for 7. That was another place where they outplayed us a little bit. Actually, I thought it was a little more than that. 4 for 7, 3 for 7. So they only had one more conversion. Red zone percentage. We missed a big field goal at the end, but they got the ball and immediately turned it back over. So it was like a wash at the end of the day. We got another chance to get into the end zone, and we ended up throwing a touchdown to Claypool. Red zone field goals, they had 2. We had 3 red zone TDs. They had 3. It was a good game overall. They had the time of possession. The offense was tough to stop. As you can see, Russell Wilson was 25 of 36, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jaden Daniels, 12 of 16, 143, 1-1. So he did what he had to do. Najee Harris had 23 rushes, 112 yards, 4.8 yards a carry, and 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he does not get the dev. We tried, but towards the end, he made good adjustments, and we weren't running the ball as well. Early on, we got a lot of yardage. Towards the end, we were struggling to get some yardage. Salvon Ahmed had 9 for 29. He didn't run the ball too much. He had 14 attempts. Russell Wilson got out of the pocket a couple times. He had the one rushing TD with Russell Wilson too, where we got stuck on the D line, and we really couldn't do anything about it. Jalen Waddle was 9 for 131. He hit us with one big play. Everything else was pretty much drags underneath, which we expected. We didn't, adjust to it too well. We kind of gave it up and said, what it is what it is, and didn't want to give up something deep. Amari Cooper was 3 for 61. He had a big catch early on. We hit him in the mouth right away. We had 3 for 20 and a touchdown for Chase Claypool. Will Fuller was 3 for 45. Mike Gesicki was 3 for 65. He hit us on the seams a few times. We made an adjustment, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to get some turnovers. We had a couple of times where we could have got turnovers, and it was either drop picks or we swatted instead of intercepted, specifically on the last drive. But overall good game. We had a decent game from the defensive backfield. Lamont Garner got hurt. Terrell Edmonds had 1 tackle for loss. I think he also had an interception. We definitely could have had more interceptions, but unfortunately that's the way it went. We had 2 tackles for loss for TJ Watt. We also had 3 sacks. 1 from Devin Bush, 1 from Sampson, and 1 from TJ Watt. So we got some pressure. Interceptions, as I said, Terrell Edmonds had 1. He had 1 from Christian Harris. Pass deflections, doesn't really matter. 2 from Mike Gesicki. Somehow Devin Bush had 2. Forced fumbles. Terrell Edmonds also had a forced fumble, so a good game from him. He had a fumble recovery. No defensive touchdowns, even though we had a couple turnovers. But yeah, overall solid game. It came down to who had the ball last. We had the Dolphins and gave them too much time, and also didn't play good enough defense to stop them from getting downfield and kicking a game-winning field goal. So at the end of the day, it's just having a better defense. Maybe we should have been more aggressive on the last drive, just to take away some of the short stuff. But it is what it is. We lose this week, and we have to bounce back next week. Let's take a look at some of the highlights and see how we got to the final score, the final outcome that we got to. All right, so I'm going to show this play. It's only a 2-yard run. The main reason I want to show this play is watch what happened with Najee Harris. So he gets good pressure right off. As you can see, right up the middle, he's got his defensive lineman coming through. That's actually his user. He tries to make a tackle. Najee Harris says, "Get off me," and runs into the end zone for a touchdown, giving us a 7-0 lead. But it didn't last long. As I said, Russell Wilson had a rush TD. That was actually the first score of the game. So we're switching around. We're trying to get the right defense. He's going to run a QB wrap. He runs a little play action. We ended up on Jordan Davis right there, number 99. We ended up on him, and we couldn't get off the block. And, our defense didn't play it right, That QB wrap seems to be a play that everybody runs, and it runs really well for some reason. I think you need to make sure your user is ready for it. And when you don't have your user ready for it, there it is, easy touchdown for Russell Wilson. So that made it 7-7. Let's take a look. Let's see if there's more plays that I could point out, some big plays in the game. So this is a nice little play action pass from JT Daniels. We're going to fake the handoff. As you can see, he's sending corner blitz. Our running back, actually, Najee, picks that up perfectly. Gives us some extra time for Sam Laporte to be wide open on the corner out. He catches it, takes it inside the 5. He takes a big hit. Thankfully, we didn't fumble it. That leads to Najee Harris, a rushing touchdown. So that was good. And then they had a couple of big plays for the Dolphins. This was to Jalen Waddle for 35 yards. I wonder if this is a drag or this might have been the crosser. So what happened was we had our flats, our regular flats from our corners. We were running a cover 2 show 4. So we have hard flats on for these corners. But unfortunately, what happened is I forgot to adjust them back to their normal state where I had them at like 20 yards. They were at 0 because I adjusted them in the red zone. Not paying attention and realizing I had them adjusted. What's going to happen here is we're going to follow one crosser, and then we realize, all right, Jalen Waddle's coming this way, and he's going to get wide open. Our linebacker can't stay with him, and as you can see, our corner right here, the hard flat we have set to 0 is right. He's right here, and yeah, that's not going to work. That is not going to work. He's covering pretty much nobody. Maybe that low flat. We need him back further to stop this crosser from happening. Jalen Waddle's going to get free from our linebacker, who's definitely not going to keep up with him. And then he's going to take it downfield for a nice little gain, set him up in good field position, and then he's going to hit him again. It was on a 1st and 20. This is a nice little play by him. We set our zone drops back to 20. I actually want to watch the corner on this because I want to make sure his zone drop was right. So we have our zone drops at 20. He's going to run a little play action, and we're going to have a deep corner route from this guy. So he's at the, what is he at, the 50? So he's at the 50, so he should go to the 30, to be honest. So he drops back, he gets to the around the 30, and he actually gets away from him and comes down and kind of sits there. So he's roughly about 30. He's roughly about 20 yards, even though that was a long pass. So I don't even think he would have got there at all. But we didn't have the right adjustment. This is a good little play by him, a good little dot in between some zone, a good little zone beater that he had out there. Maybe if we had a different defense, we could have stopped it, but that was a good little zone beater. Then he's gonna hit Will Fuller on an 18-yard touchdown. I think this was a seam route. Where's Will Fuller? I think he's in the slot right there, number 3. He's gonna hit us on a seam route right over the middle. We got Peyton Wilson that kind of went a little too far. He hits us on the seam. Nice little throw there. Nice little dot for a touchdown. So a touchdown there, making it 14 to 14. We actually get stuffed on the next drive. He comes down, he gets a field goal out of it. So sets him up for a 17-14 lead going into the second half. We ended up getting him to punt it. So we got him to punt it. Then we came down and we actually threw an interception. So after the punt, it's 17-14. We're in the red zone. Just outside the red zone. So we're just outside the red zone. We're looking at this drag here. So we drop back. Gonna take a look. We weren't really feeling the passing game. Like our eyes weren't really good this game. We have Claypool coming on the drag. We should have threw it right here. Right here is where we should have threw it. Once we saw that linebacker go to the left, but we hold on to it. We throw it. and he has his linebacker come underneath and get that for an easy interception. So a bad throw by us, and that gives him the ball back instead of us going up or either tying it. He gets the ball back, and it's not a good look for our offense. So definitely got to make better decisions there. Should have had a better go-to route, because I feel like at this moment I wasn't looking at the drag. But by the time I looked at the drag, it was too late. It caused the interception. So he ended up going down. Actually, we got an interception back, so we ended up getting this back. So it was still 17-14. We ended up kicking a 57-yard field goal to make it 17-17. Then he's coming down. He gets a long pass here. I think this was a seam route. I think he hit us on another seam route. So he's running like a slot type of look. He's gonna drop back. He's gonna run a play action, and then he's gonna actually playmaker his tight end. So he rolls out immediately. Play action. He's got pressure, so he's rolling out immediately. TJ Watt kind of gets blocked a little bit. It sets him off edge. He gets to the outside, and he's gonna find the tight end on the playmaker, running upfield for a nice little gain there. Setting him up in the red zone. We get a sack for a 13-yard loss, but unfortunately after that sack, he's gonna get a touchdown. So this is the play where I came out in look at the defense. I'm running a base defense here against a 3 wide receiver set. This is not what I wanted. Accidentally called this defense, and instead of calling a timeout, we try to run it as is. And we got to worry about a seam route from Will Fuller and then a seam route from Mike Gesicki, because that's all he's throwing. He's either throwing a drag or a seam route. He's noticing we're playing cover 3. He's not really throwing crossers. He's not throwing corners. He's not throwing posts. It's a seam route from the slot or it's a drag. We didn't have the right defense here. He's going to run a seam route with Mike Gesicki. We're not going to have somebody that matches up with him. We didn't make the right adjustment. He's going to find Gesicki for a touchdown. Nice little throw there. He led it to the right away from the safety. So that's a great throw by him for a touchdown. So there it is. That makes it 24-17. Gives him the lead. And, we have to come back down and make get a touchdown. We ended up missing a field goal here, but then we get a fumble recovery by Terrell Edmunds. So after we missed the field goal, here's his offense. He's back on the field. He's actually going to run a short little pass. No play action, just a drag underneath. We play that well. He hits his running back right away. He's like, all right, I'm going to just get rid of it to the running back. He gets rid of the running back. Terrell Edmunds, hit stick fumble. We get it back. We're set up in the red zone, so a great play by Terrell Edmunds, giving us the ball back and giving us a chance in this game. So this is what about 3:22 left on the clock. We want to score quick because we know we're going to give the ball back to his offense. Maybe we should have killed the clock a little bit just to give him less time to come down the field. But, our defense was playing well, so we run a little corner route by Sam Laporte, and then we motion over Amari Cooper to try to clear out that corner. Then we got Chase Claypool running a deep end on the backside. So we're going to run a little play action on first down. We're going to roll with the play. We don't have the tight end. We don't have the flat. Then he's going to send guys because he realizes we're getting outside. He sends guys. We find Chase Claypool because he's beating his man one-on-one. Chase Claypool makes the catch, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. So a great throw, a great catch, and a great run into the end zone for a touchdown by Chase Claypool. So a good little play, makes it 24-24. We're not able to stop him. This is on a 1st and 10. He's going to find Mike Gesicki for 14 yards. I think this might have been a flat. I don't know what this was. I don't remember. All right, so it was a seam route. He's gonna so he ran. Oh, it wasn't Mike Gesicki. It was Myles Gaskin. So he's gonna run a seam route and then the halfback angle route, which is cheesy in itself. Oh well, not cheesy, but it was like the second, not third time he ran this play, and it's not cheesy at all. So on this play, he's gonna run the seam route with the HB angle route underneath. He just makes an easy read. The seam's not there. He's gonna hit the angle for a first down. A nice little throw and catch there. Sets him up for a first down around the 40-yard line. So good little throw there. Sets him up, and that pretty much leads to a field goal after a 1-yard rush. 32-yard field goal. We try to ice him. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. He's gonna hit this field goal nice and easy for the game right there. So 27-24 is your final. Tough loss, but hopefully, you know, we bounce back next week. We take on the New England Patriots, as I said, so we're staying with the AFC East. Definitely a game we didn't want to drop. We got 7 staff points from it, so that's pretty nice. You know, we definitely wanted much better. Let's take a look at what they say about the breakout. I love playing football, blah, blah, blah. So we ended up getting the X Factor, but he didn't get the stats necessary, so I wonder what he got. Our running backs got 10,000 XP. We can't take away the XP, but we'll take the XP. But I wonder what he got. We can't keep it, but we'll see what he got. So let's take a look just to see what he got. He got Truz, so nothing crazy. He got Truz. Nothing crazy. He got Truz, so you know, we're not gonna have Truz. I'm fine with that. We're fine with that. Take away the X Factor ability. So we're fine with that. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but that's gonna do it for us today. Hopefully you enjoyed the content, and hopefully next week we have a bounce back game. But that's gonna be it for us, and everybody have a great day.